Let's explore Google Tour Builder. To get to Google Tour Builder, you're going to type in tourbuilder.withgoogle.com. Once you're there, you want to make sure you're signed in. So in the upper right-hand corner, click where it says sign in and make sure you're signed in with your @WSDR4.org account. Once you're signed in, it'll take you to the home page. Here you can see your tours that you're currently working on and any tours that are shared with you. We're going to go ahead and jump in and make a new tour by clicking Create a Tour. You need to give your tour a name, and you'll also put your name, the author name, here. You can change this later. Today we're going to be building a tour of St. Louis as our sample. Click Create Tour. Once this opens, you're going to see on the left-hand side, these are where you're going to be adding locations. On the right is where you're going to see the map. The first slide, think of it as the cover of your book. This is the introduction slide, or it's going to let viewers know what your tour is all about. So here's where you can edit the name of the tour and edit where your name is. You'll want to pick a good cover photo. You click Add a Picture. You can pick pictures either by searching, doing a Google image search. Notice that these are shown for commercial reuse, so you're not worried about copyright, or you could find a picture ahead of time and upload here. So I'm going to search for St. Louis. Again, if I don't find a picture I like, I can always do a Google image search and save it to my computer and then bring it in that way. So I'm going to bring in this picture of the arch here. A good summary of your tour. Notice that you can add in links, you can bold, you can use bullets, you have some text features here, but this is where you're going to give a little description of what your tour is going to be about. Under that, type of story. It doesn't matter if you do 3D or 2D, it's going to be 2D. A story means you go from one place to another. There's a beginning, middle, and end. Hub is going to bounce off of a point, and disabled means that there's no line connecting your story or connecting your points. We're going to do story 2D. We need to make sure we pick a path color that contrasts well, so I'm going to leave it on yellow. And now we're ready to add our first location. On our introduction slide, we're not going to do anything with this map over here because this map is going to build out as we add locations. So let's click to add our first location. Each time you add a location, you have two options. You can drop a place mark, which means I could zoom in and zoom out. I could find Missouri here if I wanted, and I could click the place mark and I could drop my place right there on the map and add it to tour. I can also, and what you'll probably do most of the time, is you'll search for a location here. This uses Google Maps to search, so you can type in an exact location using an address, or you could type in the name of it. I'm going to search for the Gateway Arch. And I could pick the museum here. All right, it's going to zoom into our place here, and we can actually see the arch here. And we'll play a little bit with this map in a second. The first thing that we want to do is add it to our tour. You have to click Add to Tour in order to get the options to add your content, to add your information. So we're going to click Add to Tour. Now you can see I can change the name of it. So Gateway Arch Museum, I really just want this to be the Gateway Arch, so I'm going to erase museum there. You can add up to 25 total combination of pictures and video. This is a really awesome feature. When you click it, same as before. You can upload pictures, upload videos. You're going to want to click More in order to search for images. So this is where I could search for the St. Louis Arch. And I could pull in some pictures here. I'm just going to grab a few pictures, select. Okay, the pictures are on here. With your pictures, you do have the option. I could add more pictures here. I do have the option to add a caption under each picture. They just take a moment to load here, and once it loads, I can then say, you know, Arch at night, or if I wanted to give more information about specific pictures, I could do that here. I click Save, Close, and that caption then is part of it. Start date and end date, it depends on what type of tour you're doing, but if you wanted to put in here the date that the arch was finished or built, you could put that here, or if you're doing an event in history, like let's say a battle, you could put the start and end date here if you wanted to, or if you visited some location between certain dates, you could do that, again, optional to put those dates in. This is a really important section. This is the content, so what is it about? I did some research ahead of time, so I'm going to my research here, and I'm just going to copy and paste over my research. This was actually a quote that I found. I also have my source here, so notice you can make a link. So this is where I got my information from. Again, you can bullet, italicize, underline, do all that good stuff here with your text features. Finally, I have another option to change the icon. So if I want to use a different icon than what you see here, maybe each one's going to have a different color, I could choose to do that. Notice if you wanted, you can find an icon out on the web, has to end in a .jpg, png, bmp, or gif, and that can go on there as well. My word of caution with that, make sure you're finding something that is an icon size so it's nice and small so you can still see the point that's under it. So we're going to click OK here. Now that this is built out, by the way, you can see I can delete it if I need to get rid of it. Okay, but up at the top here, everything's saving automatically, which is really nice. Here's the cool part. Now I'm ready to kind of lock in where I want people to see or what I want them to see when they end up on this location. So I could choose to zoom out. Maybe I just want to see them to see where the arch is located in terms of being in St. Louis. I could click lock this view here. I could zoom in, and here's the really cool part. I can grab Pegman here. So this is Google Street View. Those cars that drive around, you've seen them. They take the 360 pictures going down the road. I grab him and I drop him. Anywhere there is blue means that there is a 360 picture, or if it's on the road, it's Street View. I'm going to pick something that's nice and close. There are all these little locations here, that pictures that people have taken of the arch. So I'm going to drop in and see if I like this one. Okay, this one's pretty cool. So maybe I want it kind of locked in here. I click lock this view. If I want to change it at any time, I just move it around and click lock this view again. Now that this point is built out, let's build one more quickly. So I'm going to go to add location again. This time we're going to the St. Louis Zoo. So I'm going to click the zoo. It's going to jump us over to the zoo. Okay, perfect. Again, I'm going to click add to tour. Okay, now that it's on the tour, see that there's a line connecting points 1 and 2. If I need to rearrange these, I can drag and drop them if I need to rearrange them. So now I'm ready to add in my pictures for the zoo. So I'm going to search this time for the St. Louis Zoo. Again, I could upload pictures if I have some ahead of time. I'm just going to grab some quick pictures here. Again, I can go in and add my captions if I want. I can add dates if that's relevant to my tour. And now I'm ready to add in some information again. Again, I did some research ahead of time, so I'm just going to grab that information and paste it here. And then I'm going to put in my citation here just quickly, where I got my information from. All right, awesome. I can make that a link so that people can quickly go out and see where I got that information from. Awesome. I'm going to change the icon color here. And now I'm ready to determine where I want my where I want it to zoom into. So I could have it zoom into a place actually in the zoo if I want. I could probably find Pegman. Yep, has gone all the way through the zoo. So if there's a certain exhibit that I want to place it in, I could do that as well. So I can kind of design it how I want. Or if I want to leave Street View, exit Street View, maybe I just want to be on top of the zoo right here. That's great. Lock this view. Now I have my 2 locations. When I'm finished with my tour, I'm going to go over here and click Done Editing, and then I'm ready to share my tour. When I go to share to tour, this is a very important step. When I go to share my tour, notice how it says private. Only the people listed below can access. I can click on Change, and I can change that to anyone with the link. When I do that, I click Save. Now this link up here, I'm going to copy and paste it, and that's a good way to turn into your teacher your tour, or to share your tour with others. Now that it's shared, let's check out what it looks like in its final stage without the editing tools on. So this is what my tour looks like. So if I go to play full screen here, you can see that this is point number 1, so tour of St. Louis. Then as I go through it, it's going to jump me into my location. It's going to jump me into my information about my tour so I can see that tour. So this is Google Tour Builder. It's not collaborative, so you're working by yourself on it. Again, if I need to come back, I can go back and edit. So if I need to go back in and edit some more, I can do that as well. Then when I'm finished, again, I'm going to click Done, and then I'm going to click Share to get that link.